I've seen many waterfalls in my life before. From Ecuador to Mexico, I've had my fair share. But this one right here, this is something I've never seen before. This is one that is so incredible, I would come to Slovenia just for this waterfall alone. Welcome to one of the most beautiful places I have seen here in Europe. Welcome to Pečernik Waterfalls. Good morning guys, and welcome back to another video here from the beautiful town of Bled here in Slovenia. Now in the previous video you'll probably have seen that we went to Bled. It was amazing. Bled is one of my favorite places in the world and it is definitely a bucket list item, but outside of Bled there is so much more to do, and today's mission is simply to find a series of waterfalls that I saw on Google that look incredible. How do we get there? I have no idea. Will we get there? I don't even know. But that's part of the adventure here in the rural countryside of Slovenia. The worst part is it's a Sunday, which means public transport isn't usually running so well. So it's going to be quite the challenge. But we're heading to the bus station now, and from there we're going to slowly start figuring it out as we make our way to some waterfalls here in Slovenia. Are you passing by Luscious? Yes. Yeah, railway station? Luscious? €1 later, we've made it to a small town called Luscious. So we're slowly making it to the waterfalls, but I have no idea where we go from Luscious. So now we're on the mission to figure out how do we go from Luscious to the next stop in many stops to a series of waterfalls here in Slovenia. I thought that being part of the former Yugoslavia meant that Slovenia might be a little behind in tech, but they don't even have a physical sort of train ticket or like a booth because they have an automated machine, and it works. It works so well. Every country in the world should be learning on how to make automated train tickets like they do here in Slovenia. That was the fastest, easiest process I've ever done. But it gives me more confirmation that the train to our next stop is leaving in about 10 minutes, so that's a little bit reassuring. Say trains here in Slovenia, probably one of the best trains I've ever had in my life. Western Europe needs to do better. This is incredible, and for €3.50, this is high quality trains. Currently made it to the town of Jesenice. This is a small little town located right on the northern part of Slovenia. Again, our next stop here, but still not the final stop, still not in the town that we need to get to. But it is a very fast train, so it actually gets there pretty quickly, and it hasn't even been an hour since we've left Bled, so the transit times have been perfect right now. Let's hope this keeps up. This is a nice, charming little town here in northern Slovenia. Didn't expect to find this here in Jesenice. Slovenia just continues to surprise me with all its little charming towns and very old train stations. So based on this schedule, the next bus leaves at 9 a.m. It's currently 8:36 in the morning, so it should be about a 20-minute wait. I sure hope this bus comes, but if not, we will be stranded in Jesenice, which will be an interesting story to tell. Just made it over here to the town where we're gonna start our trek from. This is a town called Mojstrana, and what is this? This is like a fairy tale. This is incredible. I didn't even know Slovenia had mountains like these. I mean, I knew they had mountains, but mountains like these in like Switzerland or Austria? This is crazy. I am so shocked by this place, and Slovenia keeps surprising me about how beautiful it is. Now apparently it's supposed to be a one and a half hour hike to the waterfalls, depending on how fast we go, but we're gonna enjoy it. I mean, this scenery is amazing, the alpine fresh air. This is what traveling Slovenia is all about. Look at the color of that water. That's not even blue, that's just white. It's literally just pure white water. It's running so fast and it's so clear. It's glacial water coming from those mountains that we see right over there. Wow, this is literally a dream. I cannot believe this place exists in real life. If you need milk, yogurt, cheese, cottage cheese, sour cream, sour milk, here in Slovenia, you get it from a vending machine. As we travel farther upstream, you're getting closer and closer to the source of the water. And look at this color. This cannot be real. I mean, look at this color. It's the same color that's in the Lake Bled. And you know why now? Because this is the same river, the same type of water that ends up in Lake Bled. It's so beautiful and it's so clean. I just can't believe this actually exists here in Slovenia. After walking beside this river for over an hour, we finally get to cross it, and the water is just so clear. I know I'm making a big deal of the water, but truly, I was not expecting this in Slovenia. It is some of the clearest water I've seen anywhere in the world. Well, I thought I had this place all to myself, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, tons of people just started showing up. I was always by myself on the hiking trail, and then suddenly so many people showing up. I guess a lot of people drove in. There's a car park back there. Makes it easy to get here actually. But if you're trying to solo backpack this place, it is quite difficult. And when you get here, everybody's already beat you to it. But we'll see if we can make the most of this waterfall still. After hiking for so long from the highway and not even knowing if I was going to the right place, we finally made it to the reason why I came all the way out here, why I came all the way out to the northern part of Slovenia to find one of the hidden gems of this country. Welcome to the waterfall Pečernik. Pečernik Waterfalls. It is one of the most incredible waterfalls with fast-flowing glacial water. Now what's really interesting about this waterfall is that there are two layers. So there's the bottom layer, which we see right now, and from the drone shot you can actually see there's a second waterfall that's higher than this waterfall. Now the circuit loop that you get to do takes you to both waterfalls, so it's quite an impressive sort of hike to do. But with that, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna start walking, we're gonna start enjoying this walk because this is an incredible place to visit. What's really interesting about this waterfall is that while we have it right here, the actual position of the waterfall changes from time to time depending on how the river sort of goes. And you can see from right here, there's still water falling from these places right here because sometimes the water's a little stronger here and there'll be a waterfall over here. So it may be over there for now, but during different months of the year or during different years, the waterfall isn't always in the same place. So with that, it's time for us to walk behind the waterfall, and this might be the most exciting part of the entire day. Oh, we are so gonna get wet from this. We're gonna make this as quick as possible. Woo. 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 I got completely soaked walking under that waterfall, but that is completely worth it. I'm sure you saw how beautiful it is from behind the waterfall. This is a massive, massive waterfall. Actually, the second waterfall, the higher waterfall, isn't as big as this one. It is the first that you're gonna see when you come here to Prešenik. But if you look at it, it's just magnificent. And inside, it's kind of like a cave. Everywhere you walk, it's just gonna be dripping water wherever you go. So if you have a raincoat or anything like that, might be a good idea to bring it here, or else prepare to get very, very wet. Now the big waterfall may have been amazing, but in my opinion, I think the second waterfall might actually be more beautiful. It's smaller and it's not as powerful or as strong, but look at this. This looks like something out of the Garden of Eden. I never expected this in Slovenia, and it just keeps blowing my mind. Now, like with the previous waterfall, the upper Prešenik Falls is also one where you can actually go behind and check it out as well. So that's what we're gonna do, but I am just shocked by how beautiful this waterfall is. In my opinion, the upper waterfall is better than the lower fall, because first, nobody comes up here, nobody knows how to get up here. You just have to follow the path that goes upwards, but people forget it. And second, it just looks nicer. Like the rocks around it sort of form this arch. You can probably see from the drone shots how incredible it looks. I think this is my favorite part of the entire waterfall, but I know most people just end up staying at the lower fall. In my opinion, that's a big mistake. The true gem of Prešenik waterfalls is what's right behind me. Oh. If I thought Lake Bled water was good, this is the best water you're gonna find on the planet, I can tell you that. We're literally right behind the waterfall right now, and look at this. This is why you come to Slovenia. This is why you don't go to the places that everybody else goes to, and you come to these little hidden places like this here in Slovenia. I love this place. It's absolutely incredible. The more time I spend here, the more I love the place. It's just so incredible. And when you get here, there's so many amazing photo spots. It's just stunning. Like, there's no other word to describe it except that I never thought this existed in Slovenia. I saw photos, but it's very rare that a place actually lives up to what the photos show. But I can tell you here in Slovenia, Prešenik waterfall, it lives up absolutely to the hype. And the crazy part is, there's not a single person here, and it's still one of the greatest hidden gems of Slovenia. I don't know about you, but that's view I just was not expecting from Slovenia. Looks like the Alps, looks like Switzerland, Austria. It's just never expected that to be Slovenia. Okay, we have a tough choice to make because this trail does keep going on. I just don't know where it takes us. And I have a feeling that nobody's here because this trail doesn't take you back down. Which means we're gonna have to go back under the waterfall, through the waterfall, back down all the way. Which isn't a bad idea, but just means it's time for us to get soaked one more time. I hate this part, but we gotta go through it. Woo. Final hurdle, the biggest mini waterfall. We're gonna go right through it. This has been one of the best experiences in Slovenia, but my shoes and my socks are soaked. My camera, the lens, is soaked. My hair is soaked. Not the driest experience you could ask for in Slovenia, but definitely well worth getting wet for. And this right here, that's the sign that tells you to not go forward. But if you do, you just might find one of the hidden gems of Slovenia. And just like that, we are back on the main highway that's going to take us back to the town that we started from, and then from there all the way back to Bled. But what an incredible waterfall Paternik is. This waterfall is not the easiest to get to. As you can probably tell, you have to take a bus, then a train, then a bus, and especially since today is Sunday, it's really hard to get to. However, this is well worth it. I think you've probably seen for yourself how beautiful this waterfall is. Now, a few things to note. First, this waterfall is within a national park. It's called the Triglavska National Park. I think that's how you pronounce it. So it is a protected area, and that also means that there are a lot of animals that you'll see. A lot of different ants, different beetles, different insects here. And actually, they tell you at the warning sign at the entrance of the waterfall, there are bears in this area. So something to be aware of, but it's very unlikely that you'll actually see them if you're just coming to see the waterfall. But additionally, because of that, it's really hard to get any accommodation close to the waterfall itself. Like here right now you can get some accommodation, but we're already about 2 kilometers away from the actual waterfalls. The waterfall itself doesn't have its own accommodation, so you can't just stay overnight and pop up there the next morning. However, the best part about it being in a national park and being open to the public is that it's free. It's literally €0 to go inside. The only thing you're gonna have to pay for is the parking fee or your public transportation fee to get here, which I did the math, roughly adds up to about €7 or €8. It's nothing too expensive, and plus once you get here, everything's covered and it's free just to hike up to the very top and come back down. But with that said, I have to say this waterfall has some of the best waterfalls you're gonna see in the world. I would recommend that you not only go to the big lower waterfall, but remember to cross the sign, remember to cross the barrier, and make it up to the higher waterfall in order to see one of, in my opinion, the best waterfalls you're gonna find here in Slovenia. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right here. From here, we're just heading back into Ljubljana of Slovenia, so there's not much to see there until the next video. So I'm gonna end the video here. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe for a lot more food and travel videos. We've got a lot more coming from here in Slovenia, so make sure to stay tuned because this country is incredible and it's got so much to offer, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.